Welcome back to Sundered Eldritch Edition, where we want to go now for the last boss after we resisted. Let's see the good ending of the game. I'm in the Nether. These are the same types of enemies that appear when you put the Eradicator perk on. And we didn't lose health. Do we get challenge rooms now? Okay. Okay, so we now get Region 2 late game enemies. Okay. And I assume Region 3 endgame enemies now. Once the area is loaded. Stupid game. Did you see what happened there? Did you see what happened there? I pulled myself out of the world with RB. In a room that's full of these RB things. Great. Do I start with number 1 again? If I start with number 1 again. Yeah, I start with number 1 again. But got a different one this time. Great. I mean, these are better than the worms, because the worms will get damage in on me. Let's just say that I like the words with a solid boundary better. Oh god, the hitch. Well, that was nice to put me like right here where I'm getting stuff. Okay. Immediately go to cultists whenever I see them. Because they are making bullshit happen. I'm holding down and A like for 3 solid seconds until I finally go down. There must be one up there. Go up, man. Still didn't get hit. Or better to say, it didn't get damaged. Great, now there are these death zones. So I'm just gonna stay just here. Asshole idiots again. Okay, at least this time the map had a boundary and you couldn't fall out of it. Oh, there's one more. Music went weirdly quiet. But it spawned another Nocturnus. And I think I'll get to the boss battle now. Let's see. Creepy lights in the background. Check. With like the shadows and the lighting. Seems a bit like the end of Hollow Knight. And this must be the boss fight chamber. Unless I'm supposed to go up somewhere. No, there's an upper boundary. Ah, nope, not there. Nyarlathotep. Okay, these are the fragments I'm supposed to hit. Music is going on like we have... Oh god. Got one. I didn't see myself losing health. Oh, I'm seeing the third one just now. Go up. I've lost health the first time. Now, oh god. Just let me... And I got this one. Can I please go up? Can I please go up? Can I please go anywhere? I'm not allowed to go anywhere when he does that. And I got him. That was Nyarlathotep. My sword will not crush me. I will regret everything. Okay. Nyarlathotep and the shining trapezohedron. Okay. Okay. Not like that. At least we both can't kill each other. Okay, not like that. Ah, and I did damage. Ooh, I did a lot of damage to him by standing on here and shooting. And he's below half. So we'll get... And we killed our betrayful weapon. Now do I need to shoot it once again? Yeah. Insane difficulty unlocked. And the portal that will lead me to my world, I assume. Yeah, that's my word. Shadows. And we destroyed Hell's connection to our world and saved our world. I assume that's the story behind that. Sundered, Eldritch Edition. So, was that it? Yes. Okay. Sundered. I like this game. I also liked Jotun before that, but I also like this game. I went in with false impressions of the game because I thought it being a Metroidvania. Reading a description on Steam should help it because, like, the first sentence directly tells you that it's procedurally generated, but it still has most points of that Metroidvania has. Just the rooms between the parts that matter for the Metroidvania are randomized, so I would still count it as a Metroidvania. I was a bit blindsided by that, but that was my fault. The traversal, it's like one of the main things of a Metroidvania, like what are the abilities that block you from process and how do they feel? Do they feel good? Do they make sense for combat, like the air dash and a double or triple jump? And like the grappling hook, gravitational boots. Yeah, feels all really well done. It was not a bad Metroidvania. Yeah, was a good game. So, game design wise, the combat. Combat is like not the thing that I mostly lay my eyes upon if I talk about a Metroidvania. It's like, yeah. It was okay. Like, the whole ability system behind it, is a thing that the game doesn't really need. I mean, you can put it in, but I always feel like they put progression systems in every game now, and like where you level up your damage and your shields and stuff, and I don't feel like they are really needed for the Metroidvania. What else? Yeah, boss design. I liked all the mini-bosses. They really felt well done, like stronger versions of enemies that we see in the environment, and I think they were already really well done. The bosses themselves, though, especially if you fight them in the harder difficulty, are, well, they're strong, they attack you from every side at once, and they just crush you. Unless you outlevel them, then you crush them. And it's like always just, it's more like a platforming hassle to get to where you want, while you have the problem that the grappling hook isn't really precise, and you're so zoomed out that like normal platforming becomes a problem because you can't really see where you are and where you're standing and how high your jump will be if you do one. So it's a problem to get to the points where you can damage them. I would rather like it more if you would directly damage the boss instead of the Elder shards that's attached to it. Because I had a real problem like here in the last fight, where the last one for me to get was the middle one. And I was constantly pushed to the lower left side for like half a minute and couldn't get out of there. So that didn't felt designed very well. And it's like the same with the second boss, which has the thing where he puts you into the air, and it was like 2 or 3 times that I could avoid the damage and get flung up to the max, but to the maximum height where I could attack the upper one. But most of the times I just got crushing damage in, and yeah, couldn't really do anything about that and couldn't really get up, so that was really a problem. The third boss, yeah, I spoke about that last episode. I really had problems getting to them because you had to break their shards to damage the thing that's really like the thing that I'm fighting. But rivalry, it was called, and then the enemies just went around attacking and were stuck, and the Elder shields were stuck in a wall where I couldn't reach them, or were disappearing during the charge of the second one, and it just didn't feel good. And then there came the finickiness with jumping through all the grappling hooks to get somewhere, where sometimes if you just missed a second, the millisecond of putting your input in will pull you down instead of up, because you're now closer to the lower one, so you're going down. And yeah, that's sometimes a real problem. The enemy gauntlet before the final boss, there is no need for that. They could have just not included it in the game. It didn't add anything. Eradicator bosses. Yeah, I didn't beat any of them. I tried only to fight the first one in Eradicator difficulty. I got him about halfway down. But he's just doing such incredibly crushing damage, and his damage area covers the whole screen. Yeah, it's not just, yeah, you should just evade them and then go in again. It's not that way, because he covers the whole screen. You can't do anything about that. So I've no idea how to really beat them, and you have to have in mind that I started playing this game on easy, and I'm still playing it on easy. And I'm having that much problems with the boss because he just 3 or 4 shots me. Yeah, he would 2-shot me, but I have my healing elixirs in between. But it's like, that's not good. That's not good design. I would rather if they left that out. It wasn't really well done. The extra boss, Magnate of Gong. Did I talk about him yet? Was like a more normal boss in terms of game design. He was what I had to hit, and he did his attacks, which I could evade or just tank in my case. But I could have, like, he had a very obvious 3/ pattern where you can just go in, make him attack, manipulate his AI to attack in the 3/ pattern while you're dodging out, then dodge back in and hit him a few times and then get out again and rinse and repeat. So it was like a normal boss that I would expect from a Souls-like or Metroidvania, and he did really feel like it. And that was a better boss designs than the other 4 bosses, because it's fine to include like one boss which has this gimmick of destroying something specific on his body, maybe also 2 bosses, but not all real bosses. And that was a problem with that. So, well, I'm not the biggest fans of gimmick bosses, but you can have gimmick bosses in a game. That's fine. It's fun to fight them, to have like the puzzle, what should I attack? Oh, I'm destroying the Elder Shells that lent him his power. Interesting, and have to destroy 3 of them to get the big, the 3 fragments of them to get the big one, which consists out of 3 fragments. So that makes totally sense. But the other ones should just give, like, you have 1 or 2 bosses that work like that, and the other ones should just be powered by the Elder Shard, which you get out of like the head or the main body or whatever, and you go on like that, like a real normal boss fight. You just damage the thing and at the end it pops open and there's the Elder Shard, and not have like this like puzzle boss mechanic repeat 4 times. So yeah, but generally, yeah, this was a good game, and I'm looking forward to the next game, which is Spiritfarer. It will come out sometimes this year. They have proven to me that they can make interesting games that feel good. So the most fun in this game I had when I was playing alone, just grinding the perks and the skill tree, because I had all traversal abilities there, and I could just traverse the whole environment in any way I would want, and that's like my favorite time in any Metroidvania, and that's why I'm always going for like 100% or near completion, sometimes something about 90%, because it's so fun to navigate the world when you have all your tools at your disposal. It's really good. I really like that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking about the Eradicator bosses. Do I want to do the Eradicator bosses like now after the credits? Do I want to show you all 5 Eradicator bosses? Because I assume the last boss has also an Eradicator version. But I think I won't do that. I am not one that is like, yeah, I want this insane hell difficulty, and I'm really living for that. Oh, all the backer, I think these are all backers the whole time. Seems this game was kickstarted. And these are all kickstarters, and you could go into like a category, and now is the Eschaton Cultus. So we're going through different categories. One thing of advice for any developer watching, if anyone watches this at all, if you have like backers in your Kickstarter backers and you want to include them in the credits, don't do it like this, like one list. Just put search out what's the largest name you have, the one that takes the most space, and just see how many times you could fit that into columns next to each other. And if it's like 5 times, make a 5 wide grid for the backers to go through. If someone wants to catch his own name in the list, it's no problem, because it's obviously it has to be alphabetically sorted, so they will find themselves, and it just takes less time. So normally if you have like these standard credits that roll on for 10 minutes, like this one already, you want, like, someone has to watch through all of this to get to the end of the credits to see his friend who has backed the game or something like that in the credits, or himself, and make it a bit shorter. Make it a bit shorter, give credit where credit is due to if you have voices in the game, and then you have kind of like your voice artists there, give them credit, and your game developers and level designers, give them the credit. And the music was good in this one too. Should always talk about the music. Also like the level design, the part of the level design that's not procedurally generated. I like that with the abilities. I already spoke about that, like the ability gates, and also this is a horde zone. In a horde zone you have to find a perk, or like the spaceship that you had to demolish to get the stinger perk. That was all very nice. The crystal rooms with the storytelling. So generally, yes. The problem is you can, in a procedurally generated version of a map, you can only have so many things, and you will get repetition. And if I hear procedurally generated terrain, I think, yeah, they want to make the game replayable. Like the replayability, they want that to rise. But replayability for me doesn't come from having the game change every time. It comes mainly from making a good game, a good base, a game that not only tells a nice story, not only has exploration, which you're really rewarded for, also have and it has to feel good if you're playing it. Like this game felt really nice. I had problems with like the right bumper, so the grapple hook. I would like a system where I could choose like with a left stick where I'm aiming with that, because that doesn't really affect anything else, or the right stick, it doesn't really matter, like one stick to just choose which direction to fire the grappling hook at, and if there's nothing there, then it does nothing, and if there's something there, like in a 30-degree angle or 20-degree angle, however close you want to choose the boundaries, you go there. That would be nicer than just pressing RB, looking up at the time, wanting to go up on the screen towards an enemy that's up from you, but actually in that moment you were dropping, and this millisecond before you pressed, you came above the invisible threshold, and you're not longer targeting the hooking point above, the grappling point above you, but below you, and you're plummeting down, and then there's like a split second of, oh god, what did just happen? So that it doesn't really, that was like the thing that I have to that's like not good about the game. Also, if I'm like doing aerial attacks and fighting an enemy in the air, and I'm pressing down on the stick because I want generally to go a bit down, and then I just plummet through like 50 enemies and 3 platforms and just go down a hole and die. That's not great. Also, I'm not a big fan of like the Now come the Kickstarter backers. Who are the other ones then? If these are the Kickstarter backers, who are the other ones? Did they have a Patreon set up for this too? Might be. Also, I'm reading some names that I read above before. Interesting. Is this endlessly repeating or will it end? So traverses sometimes felt really nice and sometimes didn't feel so great. But overall it felt good as a game. If you have a system where your game is not procedurally generated, you can have like little nooks and crannies at a map where you can put an Easter egg or a beautiful vista and have just players immersed in the world, and they know like we're going this way, past the fallen tower, and then step right into the dungeon, down the second stairwell entrance, not the first, and go there. And it's like you get more familiar with the world and kind of more immersed if it's not another game. So I'm not looking in this game. I didn't really look at the environment so much, just as like the big square on the map. I want to go to the left, so I'm going anywhere to the left, and I'm immediately forgetting what's behind me. Just seeing, oh, there's a horde now. Do I want to fight a horde now? Oh yes, let's do a horde. So I'm defeating the horde, and then I'm moving on, and it's like I'm more paying attention to like a few enemies, or just not at all, and just blitzing through and ignoring everything on my way. And it's like that's like the downside of the procedural map design. I'm not a fan. I made that clear. Yeah. So by the time this comes out, I'll be playing Ori and the Will of Wisps in the other slot. I didn't play it now yet because it has not come out yet by the time I'm recording this. But I played Ori and the Blind Forest before, and that was like... that had a lot of good game design, of level design to show, and felt very unique. And I still, although it's over a week ago that I recorded that, I still remember a lot of the map. And with this one, I'm pretty certain that I will forget most of it. Just because the sections in between where you just blitz through without looking around or remembering anything after that, they just make it worse. So yeah, maybe I remember like the thing that we had, like the shard is a sword and it betrayed me at the end, because I betrayed it by destroying the powers of the demons and thus destroying in the end its connection to the world of the Valkyries. The Valkyries being the humans in this case, if I got the story right. So that felt quite nice. That was a good arc with the blade. We could also have strengthened the blade to become more demonic, and at the end of that line we would have had to destroy our own leftover humanity to kill what's human in us and become the demonic overlord to sweep over the land of the Valkyries and take it for her. So that would also be a nice storyline. So a bit Darksiders-like, but yeah, it's also nice to be the bad guy. So like the overarching plot line, I like that. I will remember the incinerator. I probably won't remember the ability shrines because I didn't get to use them to level up. The perk system was, like the whole ability perk system was too much. Because I don't think this game needs that. I don't think a good Metroidvania needs RPG mechanics. Hey, there's someone from Germany. Okay, let's talk about what we'll play next on the slot. We've had enough Metroidvanias for a while. I'll be playing another game that just, as I'm recording this, just put out the last of its 5 episodes. Normally with episodic content, I'll always wait until the game releases the final episode. If it's like an episodic game, but it's one continuous story, I will wait until the last one comes out and play it all back to back. And it has just released that. That's a game from 2013, won several indie and story awards at that time, and was backed by Kickstarter, and was supposed to release all its 5 episodes in 2013. But it only released the first 2, the third one in 2014, this fourth one in 2016, and now the fifth one in 2020. And very special thanks to you. Thank you for supporting Thunder Lotus and the games we make. None of this would be possible without you. Thank you. Thank you for thanking me. Yeah. Canada Media Fund. Yeah. So what happens after? Okay, we're going back to this. 100% progress, it says. If I go back in, is the final boss defeated? No, I can defeat the final boss again if I want to. So like, look at this big tree. There's not really a need for this. Like you could have like this one extra perk. Make it instead of like get rid of all these perks. Make like this. Maybe not get rid of all the perks. Have the perks stay in. Have these abilities be pickups, like the real abilities. These ones you get by destroying the shards. You just get them. And make like these ones and these ones. Make them pickups. Or this. Or this. Or this. Just make them pickups and get rid of the whole currency system. You don't need that. It's just another layer of game mechanics on top of it that you don't need at all. Yeah. So, what I was talking about. So next game will be, if you've guessed it already, have not guessed it already, will be Kentucky Route Zero, which just came out after 7 years of development. So I'm interested in this game. You and I will see together tomorrow if it holds its promise to be great. See you tomorrow. Have a nice day.